What if the biggest threat to your destiny is not your enemy, your background, or even your past mistakes, but the story you keep telling yourself about why you cannot move? Excuses feel like explanations, but most times they are just fears well dressed in a suit. And the dangerous thing about an excuse is that it sounds reasonable. It sounds responsible. That is exactly what makes it deadly. There is a story in John chapter 5 that never stops hitting me. A man had been sick for 38 years. That is 365 days, repeated 38 times in the same sickly condition. 38 years. Hi. Jesus walks up to him, not to sympathize, but to ask the most direct question. Do you want to get well? And what does the man say? He did not say yes. He gives Jesus an excuse. I can't, sir. The sick man said, for I have no one to put me into the pool when the water bubbles up. Someone else always gets there ahead of me. Hi. The question was simple. Do you want to get well? Thank God mercy found him. Jesus did not argue with his excuse. He just bypassed it and said, get up, pick up your mat and walk. Your excuses are not your problem because, to be sincere, they are usually real and factual. Your agreement with them is the problem. A research from Stanford behavioral psychologist Dr. Carol Dweck shows that people with a fixed mindset, that is, those who consistently explain away failure rather than examine it, are statistically less likely to achieve meaningful growth, regardless of their level of intelligence or talent. In other words, the habit of making excuses doesn't just slow you down emotionally. It literally rewires your brain to stop looking for solutions. And if you look at economic data across developing nations, particularly Nigeria, the gap between potential and productivity is not always a resource problem. It is mostly a responsibility problem. I know this for a fact. We have brilliant people, tremendous gift, extraordinary ideas, but somewhere between the gift and the grant, there is an excuse sitting down. The world does not reward potential, it rewards execution. See, I want to be fair because I'm not talking to you from a distance. I have been there. There was a season in my life where I had tons of reasons why things were not working. And of course, many of those reasons were even true. My environment was difficult, resources were tight, people had let me down. But here is something deep that I discovered, that a true reason and a useful reason are two different things. You can be right about your excuse and still be wrong about your future. Proverbs 22 verse 13 says, and I love how the Message translation puts this. The loafer says, there is a lion on the loose. If I go out, I will be eaten alive. 3,000 years ago, people were already using worst case scenarios to justify staying still. Nothing is new. The excuses just got updated software. Every excuse you make is a small funeral. You are burying a version of yourself that could have existed. Quietly, politely, with flowers and everything. Moses said he could not speak. Gideon said he was too small. Jeremiah said he was too young. And God's response to all of them was essentially the same thing. I did not ask for your resume. I asked for your obedience. The people who changed their lives, and honestly the ones who changed the world, are not people without problems. They are people who stopped negotiating with their limitations. You don't overcome excuses by pretending the obstacles are not real. You overcome them by deciding that the destination matters more than the difficulty. Your destiny is not going to fight through your excuses for you. It is patient, but it is also passing. Every morning you wake up is God essentially asking you, do you want to get well? The question is not whether you have a reason to stay down. You probably do. Most people do. The real question is, do you have a reason to get up that is bigger? Find that reason, feed it, and then, like the man at the pool, pick up your mat. Because the life you keep saying you want is on the other side of the story you keep telling yourself. Stop explaining your life. Start building it.